Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Pynk Beard, your daddy's wife's favorite country singer, and I just wrapped up an interview with Dallas Weekly Underground with Ray Too Real.
What's up, everyone? It's Too Real with Dallas Weekly Underground, and I have a phenomenal Grammy Award winning songwriter and artist, Pynk Beard. How are you doing today?
How are you? I'm doing well.
I'm doing amazing. I'm really excited for this listening party that you have here in Dallas to hear the music up close and personal because I was able to, cipher through your Instagram and just it gave me chills. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest
man.
with you. It gave me chills. My favorite color is pink, actually. So
Perfect.
yeah, fun fact.
Perfect.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna start off and play a little game. It's called Country Cuts
Okay.
or City Struts.
Okay.
So it's a little bit like this or that.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm gonna fire some questions at you, and you let me know. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So cowboy boots or fresh sneakers?
Ooh, depends on the day. Cowboy boots, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Sneakers on the
Um,
day.
let's do fishing pole or a fashion show.
Fishing pole.
Okay. Barbecue brisket or a vegan plate.
Brisket.
Vinyl record or Spotify playlist.
Spotify playlist.
Okay. Rodeo night or rooftop lounge.
Rooftop lounge.
Oh wow, that's surprising.
Yeah. Yeah. I love a good rooftop.
Okay.
I love a good view.
Me too.
Yeah.
Four-wheeler ride or Cadillac cruise.
Whew. Depend on the Cadillac. I'm gonna go Cadillac Cruise though. Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite Cadillac?
My good friend and producer friend just bought the new Escalade EV. Incredible.
Really?
Incredible.
Okay. I'm gonna
Man,
have to
what a
check that out.
comfortable ride.
Okay.
Shout out Cadillac.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Sponsor me.
Yes. Hey, we may be able to do something. We'll chat after this.
Yeah.
Let's do regular jeans or leather boot, or I'm sorry, leather pants.
Wrangler jeans.
Okay. Pickup truck or Tesla.
Pickup truck.
Alrighty. A solo writing session or co-writing collab.
Ooh. Wow, that's the hardest one. I'm gonna say solo right.
Okay.
I'm gonna say solo right.
Why would
But
you?
I've had some great collabs, but like I tend to just kind of get into my own world when I write, and sometimes having a collab kind of pulls you out of that world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm kind of a prisoner of my own thoughts in that
Right.
regard, but I do love a good collab.
Okay. And line dancing or two-step slow groove.
Definitely a line dance.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do classic country or country trap.
classic country,
Okay. And a home cooked meal or a five-star takeout.
home cooked meal,
All right. Well,
especially if my grandma cooked it.
all right. Well, thank you for playing that game. I just kind of want to break the ice a little bit.
Okay, okay, I appreciate
Now
it.
we're going to get into a little bit about you, a bit more. So you've written for a lot of artists behind the scenes. What has inspired you to come to the forefront and use your talents for yourself now?
Oddly enough, I was not really thinking about doing an artist project. Um, I was actually writing some songs for an artist when they started,
Hmm.
and a really good friend of mine, shout out nephew, a producer friend of mine, super spiritual. He's like a little nugget of Jesus. It's hard to describe him. Just a really sweet guy, right? He calls me. I mean, I was in Miami actually working with another artist, and he called me one morning. I had these songs. He calls me. He says, "Man, I don't know why, but God just told me to tell you, you've been putting the battery in everybody else's back for so many years. It's time for you to shine yourself." And I literally just caught chills because I just had these like 3 songs in my phone that I was trying to shop around. But every time I was sending somebody, they'd say, "You should do these yourself."
Hmm.
And when he said that to me, I was just like,
Confirmation.
okay, yeah. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do it myself. And then I sent it to Oak, and he said the same thing. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing it myself. So just timing. I learned a lot, writing for other people, and just timing, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what can you tell me a little bit about Alicia Keys and how that came about? I know you get asked that a lot, but I'll just walk me through getting that call, and then next thing you know, you're
I'm
being flown out.
Yeah. Basically, she was working on a new project, and she reached out to my publisher, UMPG,
Hmm.
and I guess she just said, "Hey, I'm looking for some co-writers," and they knew I played piano. They knew like the kind of stuff that I wrote, so they suggested me play to one of my songs, and she was like, "Okay, yeah, let's get him." So I'm literally riding down the one highway, like Pacific Coast Highway, and I get this phone call from a New York number. And at first I thought, don't answer that. That's a bill
Scammer.
collector. You know what I'm saying? That's either a scam or a bill collector. But I went ahead and answered it, and she was like, yeah, you know, we want to fly you out, blah, 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 blah. And next day I'm on a plane. I got a chance to go and just meet with her and, you know, chat with her, you know, mingle. That was great. It was great. Shout out Alicia.
Shout out to Alicia.
Yeah.
She's a phenomenal just artist
And person,
in
like a
person. Yeah.
really good person. Like the first day we worked together, we probably spent 4 or 5 hours just playing this little icebreaker game, like just picking cards and like talking to each other, getting to know one another as a person. And that goes a long way when it comes to songwriting, because the song, well, it depends on kind of song you write, but if you're trying to do something from the heart, it can only go as deep as you're willing to share, you know. And so shout out to her for being, you know, vulnerable and open that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna actually get into, have you ever written a song and it's been like, this is too personal for me, and this is just for me? Is that what you were referring to? Those two songs that you were shopping around?
Nah, I this whole thing started. This might take me a minute to tell you, but it's a really good story. Okay.
I'm here.
So every year, my manager has a house in Bali. And so every year we go down to Bali. It's like 10 songwriters, 10 producers, 10 artists. We'll go down and we'll just swap up these rooms, blah, blah, blah. Well, one year I'm down and there's this girl there, young lady, she's like 19, and she had been like a professional model and a professional soccer player, and now she was a professional singer. And I mean, just living a great life, you know, pretty little girl, woman, I mean, nothing to disrespect. And she happened to be a lesbian. Okay, shout out to my LGBTQ. You know, my sister's a lesbian, and so we were talking, and I was talking. She was talking about some of her hardships, you know, blah blah. And I was telling her, you know, about how, you know, my sister's situation and how I really stand up for my sister, because I really do. And she said, "You're not really an ally. You're being performative," and it hurt me so bad. It just punched my ego so bad. I was like, "You don't know." As soon as I did that, I was like, "You know what, ma'am? I'm sorry about that." I had snapped at her, but keep in mind, I'm 6 foot at the time, like 280.
Right.
She's like 5'2", a buck 10, right? So
Just a lot.
that was a lot of, you know, and so I was like, "Man, I'm so sorry." But by then she was shook. So I was like, "Man, excuse me, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah." I went to my room and I said to me, I'm gonna do this a lot, okay? I said to me, "Hey, go to the bathroom." So I go to the bathroom, I turn the light on. I said to me, "Why'd you do that?" Then me said to I, "Because she made me mad." Then I said to me, "Well, do you feel better now?" And me said to I, "No." And then I said to me, "There's a story you tell all the time that you never tell right. Why do you tell it that way?" And me said to I, "Because I'm afraid that people will judge me." And then I said to me, "Tell it to I right now." And I know it seems like a long story, but I promise it has a point.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
And me looked in the mirror and tried to tell I the story, and me started crying. And I said to me, "Why are you crying?" Then me said to I, "Because I'm afraid I will judge me too." I, please forgive me for not trusting I. And so I said, "I forgive me." Okay. So from that point on, every year I go to Bali, me would write I a song to just be completely honest about life, like whatever it is, blah, 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 blah. And so every year I write myself at least one song that I never share with anybody, because they're just too personal to I. Yeah. Second part of that story, I go back down there. This one particular year, I forget to do it, right? And I'm writing all this stuff, and I just can't find my rhythm. And I was like, "Oh, forgot to write me a song," right? So I write this song called "Skin and Bones," which is the song is about the fact that I'm getting old. You know, I'm getting old. And songwriting is really a young man's game. You got to stay up on the lingo. You got to stay up on the rhythms, blah, blah, blah. Just getting old. And as soon as I finished it, I said to me, "Hey, go back to the bathroom." So I go back to the bathroom, and I said, "Hey, you remember how I met me last time?" And me was like, "Yeah." "And you remember how you said that I would judge me?" And me said, "Yeah." And then I said, "You were right. I judged the fuck out of me." And so, but that whole process is just like getting the emotion out. You know, it's not for the world. It's just something to, healing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's really important, to really look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Hey, why did I do this?"
Why did I do that? Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you'll go around kind of pretty much projecting things on other people that maybe, you maybe misunderstood, or there's really power in really knowing yourself so deeply, where you have to talk to yourself and say, okay, you were wrong.
Yes, yeah, and that those interactions, especially when I can sit down and write about them, I get a chance to kind of like play a situation in my head again. One of the things I like about playing golf is like every swing you get to like judge yourself, right? What did I do right? Where am I twisting wrong? And writing a song is the same way. You get a chance to really think, okay, did I process that correctly at the time? Is there anything else I should have said, or blah, 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 blah. And a lot of times that's just, for personal use. But it's definitely therapeutic.
And 100% of the shots you miss are ones that you don't take.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
Okay. Well, you're a black man in country music,
I am.
at a time where, Western and country and rodeo are all things that are pretty much popular right now.
Yeah.
But me, from being from Texas and you being from Birmingham, we've
Yeah.
been on
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Can you tell me how it's been, one, just being in this genre of music and stepping out on faith, coming from a church background? Um, let's start there,
yeah. Okay.
because we're going to get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, being a black man in country music is what's the word I want to use? It's an honor, I think. I consider myself kind of an ambassador in that regard, and I represent a lot of people who just haven't had the stage to express. More than 80% of black people in America live in the Southeast, right? Which means that black people and the country are one and the same. You wouldn't have the country without black people.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have country music without black people. You wouldn't have the country without black people. So, but I was telling this to somebody else the other day. Most of our music centers are not in the South anymore. Muscle Shoals and even New Orleans and, places like that. The music industry is in New York and in LA and partly in Atlanta. But, it kind of moved away. And so when a lot of people, when they move out, this happened to me. When I first got signed, I'm working with people in New York. They don't understand. They think that country music and the country is not black. Right. So I remember playing my first songs for a manager guy. He was like, "This isn't R&B," and I was like, "I know." Right. He was like, "Well, you're black." He literally said that to me.
Wow.
"Well, you're black," and I was like, "I also know that." Right. Like, I consider myself navy brown, but okay. But all that to say, the genre is a dividing line that doesn't really exist. People are just expressing themselves, the way that they know. I came up in a church, playing instruments every Sunday, writing songs, because my first pastor didn't allow us to sing songs.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, like we just had to sing songs that we wrote. So everybody in my church wrote songs. Everybody in my church wrote songs. And so I was just trying to be a part of the service. And I just kept at it because I enjoyed the fact that I could just get my ideas out like that. And so gospel and soul and country and even parts of hip hop, like all that's just a part of where I'm from, Yeah.
So how do you stay true to yourself in this ever-changing industry that is often so judgmental? You're a man with the pink beard.
I am. I am. That's kind of what this whole project is about. It's about getting back to what makes me me. I used to have dreads.
Oh, wow.
And they were long, and I literally had all these colors in them, like at the ends of my hair. Like I was Tekashi 6ix9ine before he was 6. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I've always liked colors. I've always liked self-expression. But the older I got, I kind of grew up. I used to have a bunch of piercings and all kinds of stuff, but I had to grow up. And I got grown and realized adulthood is a scam. It's the biggest scam of life. They scam you into being grown, man. And I mean, you can't get away from the responsibilities of it. But the living, I will be this kid until they bury me. I will pay my bills. But as far as the expression and just being honest and being inquisitive and being a kid at heart, I'm back. I'm back. And that's what this whole thing is about. So that's how you stay true.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And definitely staying true in something. It brings you back to your roots. and you're able to be your best self. So
Yeah,
shout out to you.
yeah, I appreciate it.
If someone is just discovering your music, what's the first song they should listen to?
I lived, which is the first single, and I'm glad that it worked out that way, because it's a really good introduction into just like the man that I am,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm from,
Mm-hmm.
the people that I love, and I think it's just and it's a good song.
Okay.
Shout out to me, and I'm just kidding.
Yes.
No, shout out
Shout out
Giddy
to
for that.
you. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
And little birdie told me that you may be doing some things with Red Bull.
Quiet as it's kept.
We're gonna keep it on.
Yeah. But they've been really kind to me. Shout out to Red Bull. They've been really kind, and they've been kind of helping me along the way. They're giving me pointers and things about how to conduct things, and we're building a relationship, and I definitely appreciate it.
Red Bull is awesome.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
So, what can we expect next from Pynk Beard? I know you're performing tomorrow. Can you tell us a little bit about your performance tomorrow?
Okay. Tomorrow I'm gonna perform at Blueprint University, which is in Dallas proper. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited about that. I just found out that the bass player that's playing in the band is my bass player. Like, we grew up together.
Oh, wow.
And he is the best bass player alive.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not just saying that because we're friends. He literally
What's his
is.
name? Should I
Justin
say it?
McKinney. Justin
Justin
McKinney
McKinney.
is the best bass player on the planet.
Okay.
And we grew up together. And so,
Full circle moment.
what? Like, we were playing in a band together, and he had to grow up. He was like, man, we were kind of stuck in Birmingham. Great band, but we were stuck in Birmingham. He's like, bro, I gotta move to Dallas. I gotta try my hand at some other stuff. And so he moved to Dallas. I moved to LA. My other guitar player moved to LA. My keyboard player moved to Atlanta, and all of us kind of found our way, individually.
Found your way back.
What? And so, I don't even want to tell y'all how good the show gonna be tomorrow. I'm back with Justin McKinney. And if anybody from Birmingham sees this, y'all already know what that means. This is about to be ridiculous. Okay, but yeah, it's good times, good times. That's my friend.
Okay, awesome. Well, I look forward to the show tomorrow, and thank you for your time. We're gonna kick back and listen to a few of your songs here at the listening party, and I can't wait. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, don't judge me too harshly.
I'm not happy.
I appreciate it. Thank you
Red
so
Bull,
much.
by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
They have to give me one.
Get you one.
Okay.
Get you one. It gives you all the more reason to smile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And another part of this project, and I know we done, but another part of this project is, I feel like rebellion, activism, angst, all of that is one of the biggest FUs in the world, is to show you all 32 of my teeth,
Oh yeah.
right? In a world that don't want to see you smile. And I just love it, right? Like, it pisses some people off, but it's just one of those things. Like, I'm back, man. Like, I'm back, and I want everybody to feel like that. Like, we back.
Yeah.
I know it looked grim, but we back, man. We're gonna figure out a way to make it through anything, and we're gonna do it with a smile.
Okay. So love that. And speaking of, I thought I was gonna end this interview, but we're gonna keep going.
Okay.
I was looking on your Instagram and somebody said, "Love your music, but I'm not gonna share this with my nephew." Can you kind of expand on that? Is the Pynk Beard? Is it the controversy that you thought it would be? Is it good controversy?
It's all good controversy. All engagement is good engagement.
Absolutely.
Oddly enough, of the thousands of comments that I've gotten over the last couple months and the millions of views that I've gotten over the last couple months, I might have gotten
One,
8
two. Okay.
that were like, you got a pink beard. Okay. And so the guy was like, oh, I'm not going to share this. I love your music, but I'm not going to share this with my nephews. And I was like, well, why wouldn't you share it with your nephews? Right. And he was like, well, because your beard is pink. And I was like, what does that have to do with
The music.
Well, yeah, like, okay. To borrow a phrase from a really good friend of mine, masculinity is very fragile, right? And if your masculinity is threatened by somebody's facial hair, bro, grow up. I know I said stay a kid, but grow up a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even a kid can see somebody with, kids come up to me all the time. They're happy to see me because I got a pink beard,
Because you got a
right?
pink
Like,
beard, yeah.
be a kid then. Maybe I shouldn't say grow up. Maybe I should say be a kid,
Yeah.
right? Just enjoy the fact that you hadn't seen that before. Just smile about it. And if it's not your thing, it doesn't have to be a thing. But it's not harming you. I'm not harming anybody, man. I'm just trying to promote smiling and self-expression.
Absolutely.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note, can you tell us the name of your debut album and
Yes.
yeah,
It's called Sugar and Salt,
Sugar and Salt.
which is, it's a lot of stories in that. But one of the main things, like the main story here is, well, life comes with a little sugar and a little salt. That's one. You have to take the sweet with the sour, just how it goes.
Absolutely.
But in the country, you know, people eat grits. Some people eat them with sugar. Some people eat them with salt. And the people who eat them with salt think that the sugar people are insane, because they are. No, I'm just kidding. And the people who eat theirs with sugar think the people who eat them with salt are disgusting.
Well, I would eat mine with sugar.
Wow. Wow, we were doing so well. We were doing so well. But you know, but the thing of it is, when you take a step back, we just two country grit eating people.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's kind of what this whole ordeal is about. Like, what makes a thing country, right? It's not how you top your grits, but the fact that you eat them.
Okay.
Right? And so that's kind of the ongoing question in this album is, am I country enough for you? You know, like it, and you get a lot of that. Oh, this ain't country music. Why? Well, tell me why it ain't. Like, what's not country about it, right? Other than the fact, and the guy got on there and was like, "'Cause you're black." Oh my God, you know. So yeah, well, good times.
Shout out to Beyonce too for taking home that Grammy this
One
year, along with yourself.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're here, Dallas Weekly Underground. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
These ain't my boots, but I lace my shoes up, and they play the song they always do. A song for lovers, but I've discovered a lover's game is a game for fools. See, I ain't broke yet, but I've been broke.